Have you ever felt completely overwhelmed, like life is just throwing things at you and you have no control? Maybe it's a health scare, a sudden job loss, or a relationship ending. In those moments, it feels like the world is conspiring against you and you're just a passenger on a runaway train. But what if I told you that this feeling, this sense of powerlessness, often comes from a fundamental misunderstanding of what you actually control? Ancient Stoic philosophers, especially Epictetus, grappled with this exact question. They believed that much of our suffering comes from trying to control things that are simply beyond our reach. Think about it. Can you decide whether you get sick? Can you prevent every accident? Can you stop the people you love from eventually dying? Can you guarantee success in your career or choose who falls in love with you? We might influence some of these things, sure, but can we assure a positive outcome? Not really. Epictetus, in his famous handbook, starts by laying out a very clear, almost stark distinction. He says there are things that depend on us and things that don't. What falls into the first category, the things truly in our power? Our judgments, our impulses, and our desires, essentially our inner world. Almost everything else, he argues, is largely outside our control. This includes our physical body, our possessions, our reputation, and our worldly success. He goes on to say that a huge chunk of human unhappiness stems from a simple misclassification, from believing we control things that we actually don't. Now, you might think, oh, so it's an internal versus external thing, or mental versus physical. While those ideas touch on it, Epictetus's point is more precise. He isn't saying we control everything internal or all our thoughts. For instance, we don't choose the sensations we feel or the memories that pop into our heads. We can't just switch our emotions on and off like a light switch. We'll talk more about emotions later. What Epictetus does say we have complete control over are our judgments. These are the thoughts we form about the things that happen to us. It's not the event itself, but how we interpret and label it. And why are these judgments so incredibly important? Because they are the starting point for everything else. They determine how we act, what we desire, and what we pursue. Imagine you see something, let's say a fancy new car. You form a judgment. That car is good. This judgment then sparks a desire. I want that car. This desire, in turn, drives an impulse. I need to work harder to buy that car. This whole process, from judgment to desire to action, can lead to a long, arduous pursuit, potentially at great cost to yourself and others. But it all starts with that initial, often unconscious judgment. We often make these judgments so quickly that we don't even realize we're doing it. We might judge something as good so often that we start believing it's intrinsically good, that its value is inherent. But Epictetus and other Stoics, like the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, would challenge this. They'd remind us that nothing external is inherently good. It's just matter in motion. True good, they believed, lies only in a virtuous character. Marcus Aurelius, who was a big fan of Epictetus, used to practice this by consciously reframing his judgments. Before declaring a delicious meal good, he'd remind himself it was just the dead body of a pig or a fish. A costly accessory or a luxury car, just a pile of metal and plastic. The value we perceive in these things isn't in the objects themselves, it's the value we attribute to them through our judgments. And here's the truly good news according to Epictetus. You have complete control over these judgments. With practice and self-reflection, you can overcome the habit of thoughtlessly labeling things. If you can master your judgments, you effectively gain complete control over your life. You get to decide what's important to you, what you desire, and how you act. Your happiness then becomes entirely your own. It might seem like Epictetus is saying you control very little, but he's actually saying you control everything that truly matters for your well-being. So, what about all that other stuff, the things we don't control? Our bodies, possessions, reputation, worldly success? The Stoics argue that none of these things are inherently good. If you tie your happiness to any of them, you're essentially handing your well-being over to external forces. If your joy depends on a romantic relationship, a specific career goal, a material possession, or even your physical appearance, you've made your happiness vulnerable to the whims of something or someone else. That's a precarious position to be in. If you mistakenly believe you control these things, frustration and disappointment are practically guaranteed when reality inevitably proves otherwise. So, next time you feel life slipping out of your grasp, ask yourself, am I trying to control something that isn't truly mine to control? And am I taking responsibility for the one thing I do control, my judgments? Because in mastering those, you master your peace, your purpose, and ultimately your happiness. What will you choose to judge as truly good today?